Hey everyone, this is Snark with Snark's Domain, and today we're going to test out some MG860. Andy's saying, thinking of getting myself that conformal coating. Yeah, there's lots of conformal coatings you could go with. I am not an expert in conformal coating, but I do like the one that I picked because it's, it's glow in the dark, which is right up there with RGB. So how's it going, Taylor Sharp? Yeah, 0.7 excuse me, watts per meter Kelvin. Might need a fire extinguisher. Yeah, no doubt. So what do we got going on? We got this same tube that I tested before, MG Chemicals 860. It comes in like different application forms. Oh, that's actually cracked. That's crazy. But it's got a 5-year shelf life, which is interesting. I mean, I don't even know if I trust shelf lives anymore. My TGPP10 was supposed to expire already. Why is it not bad? I'm just going to squeeze a bunch of this stuff in here because I feel like the syringe is definitely the way to go for consistent putty results. This stuff's pretty liquidy, I will say. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty liquidy stuff. we got going on here? There's the cap. I think that's going to be enough. We're going to measure it or weigh it, I guess. Fluorescent is best. Yeah. Well, and you're not putting like, it's not nail polish, right? It's like actually, nail polish is fine. Even Der Bauer uses nail polish. I don't think you're going to run into problems. But this stuff, or the MG Chemicals 422C, is got a pretty awesome data sheet and stuff, so you can look at it, and it's from like a fairly large manufacturer, and it's specifically designed for electronics, so it's, I would consider it a step above nail polish. Plus, it's see-through when you don't have a UV light. So if you ever had to do a repair, or if you had to send it to a shop, they'd have an easier time of maybe seeing damage. They'd still have to clean it off. And as we can see on my test card, it does clean off after you scrub it quite a few times. So I'm sure if you wanted to get it off faster, it wouldn't be that difficult. But, oh, I just realized my music's not going. I'll get some music. If it's too loud, just let me know. I'm using the filter that doesn't do the crackling, because, yeah, I've got to figure that out. Maybe my gain is off, probably, and it's like pushing it to the limiter, I think. So until I can get that tuned in properly, we'll just use this one. And hopefully it doesn't sound too rough. I think you guys get a little bit more background noise this way, but maybe that's okay when I'm not like my face right next to the mic. It'll should still pick up okay, I'm hoping. So, and I didn't do any prep today for this, so it's not that I really need to do much prep for these, but I just got back from a job and I gotta go tomorrow again for a couple days, so it's theoretically possible I could have a bit of time off in the next couple days. I'm not sure. All right, so we're looking at the card with Jeyi 8100, and yeah, it's a sticky clay-like putty. It adheres well to all the memory chips. It's not too difficult to clean up. Really, it's not bad compared to a lot of them out there. And let's get a close-up here. Get this tuned in. Yeah. There we go. Putty time. Decent core contact patch. I'm just going to put it in these same little Jeyi containers. Yeah, this stuff cleans up nice. These things right here are awesome for cleaning this stuff up. It just scoops right up. No problem. So these little containers hold about 10 to 12. So we'll just fill one up and then put the rest in the other one. I'll toss any little contaminated bits. Yeah, I didn't get much sleep in the last 3 days, so I'm not going to be as energetic as I sometimes might be. So if I talk quieter and sound sad, I'm not sad. I'm just tired. Get it here. Just gonna jam it all in one container, I think, tonight. It's gonna work. It's a nice putty consistency. It's pretty easy to work with. contaminated there. I think I got all the good clean stuff, so we'll close this container up. Let's see. Oh yeah, that is interesting, eh? Wow. Let's, you know what? I'm just going to snap a close-up of that because that's got to be where the chips are, and the rest would be that plastic or whatever. That's cool. That's, well, that's at the very least the hotspot of the memory. Suppose I should try and test that sometime. Just put a little, just do the, I should test the P method where you just roll up a little ball and it just does, like, doesn't cover the corners at all and just does the center, and see how that compares to the log technique and if there's much of a difference in performance. Andy says, Logic says lifespan under use should be significantly lower than shelf life. Yes. If a putty retains its performance for an entire year of use, its actual shelf life would likely be 10 years. Yeah, so I was reading up on silicones, and they can last for years, but it all depends on the conditions that they're in. So the better, it's exactly like you said, the better performance that it has, well, it's going to last longer because it's going to be running cooler. Basically, the cooler the putty is, the more it lasts. I would say that the same is true for any of the, at the very least, the silicone-based thermal pads. And I did read up on it, and it's like they might not like leak oil, but they sort of do over time. Over a long period of time, there will be with whether it's pads or putty or I suppose probably even silicone-based pastes, there'll be a slight like migration, almost like a, not like a wet, but like a damp looking spot around the VRAM. So I'll definitely have to open up an older card and see if we can document that. What I'd really like to see is if that actually changes performance or not. Yeah, the chips must have cooked the putty. If you look at a teardown of the PS5, they only cover, yeah, they only cover with those little tiny blobs. And my opinion of that when I saw it was like, okay, well, they're not using enough and there's more performance to be had here. And maybe there is, but with the fairly low thermal conductivity of that plastic material, maybe there's not much. Like, do we start lapping VRAM chips down like 0.1 of a millimeter and see if we can get, like, it's almost like lapping a CPU die where they're like actually grinding off a little bit of the silicon? I don't think I'll go that far, but I mean, maybe for testing, but it would have to be a really old, crappy card that still has memory temperature sensors. I don't think I would try that on a new expensive card. I feel like that's something that Mr. Bauer could probably tackle if we wanted to. Yeah, as long as it doesn't crack and separate from the chip, I imagine it would still work fine. Taylor says, would definitely be interesting to test. Yeah, risky business for no benefit though, yeah. Jimmy says, go straight to the memory silicone. Yeah. You know, if someone was going for like world record performance on air, especially, where you just need like the best possible cooling performance, and you don't have like liquid nitrogen to play with, it'd be interesting to see how far you could cool these things. Yeah, I'm just gonna scrape a little bit more that we're gonna toss. Just right here. So I realized I was looking at my box of putties to be tested, and it keeps shrinking, which is a good thing. And we really don't have much left. And I do have a couple other putties on the way. So I'm always I'm always buying new putties that we find. Thanks to you guys. I mean, anytime you guys find stuff and you're sending it my way, then I look into it and I end up usually, if the price isn't too bad, I'll buy some, and then we got more stuff on the way. But right now, with us testing this MG860, that really just leaves KPT8, K5 Pro, trying to think what else. That's pretty much it. And I looked, and I don't know if I have enough of the KPT8, which in my hot play test seemed to perform just slightly better than this MG860 stuff. So I might have to look at buying, sorry for coughing guys, look at buying a little bit more KPT8. I can test it in the future when that comes. But I think after this 860, I think we're going to go ahead and test K5 Pro on the card. And then after that, I'm probably going to give the card a really good scrub and let it, with a toothbrush, and we'll probably reapply the MG Chemical conformal coating, which I might as well do that on stream, and then I'll just let it sit for a day or two, depending if I go to work or not, to cure, and then we'll come back and start, we'll test liquid metal and LMTG 100 on the die. So I'll make sure there's really good coverage around these little pins. That way we don't harm anything. And I need to do a bit more reading up as well on Conductonaut. I'm sure there's lots of guides out there with little extra tips and precautions. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to put like foam around anything, but I think if I protect it well enough with conformal, I should be okay. And as long as I don't use too much. I heard that's a problem too, otherwise you get little drop swarming of it. So almost on the PCB here. Jimmy says, is K5 Pro as bad as everyone makes out to be? Okay, I actually I can't give a solid answer on that, because I did only test it on a hot plate. A hot plate that puts out, guys, 180 watts. So for me, I guess I have a thought of where it might end up, but I'm not sure. But we have to test it, and maybe I'll give more thoughts on it then. Got to give it like better testing than what I did in the past. I didn't have ambient temperatures logged. Not that that would have made a massive difference considering the time it took to get to 100, but yeah, let's see how it does on this test bench. Now that we have, I would consider better accuracy than we did before. Funny thing is, I'm already thinking of what I would do for test bench Rev 3, and it's yeah, I don't know. That'll be a while. I need like a different room that's like temperature and humidity controlled, and then like even higher end sensors and logging apparatus. But man, that's going to be a lot of extra work. I'd rather just, in a way, use the Quadro Pro. Oh, sorry, the Aqua Computer Quadro, where I can log it in HW Info, just because it's so easy. I'm just going to pop off this little plastic. Oh yeah, we got a couple different little colors of putty in there. This is just a little plastic frame, which I'm not entirely sure the purpose of this, if it's meant to be a stopgap, to prevent if it like helps, I don't know, make it like a level contact. I don't think this actually touches the cold plate, but it could get really close that way. If you were tightening down one side too much, this would prevent from exerting too much force on the silicon. That's my thought. Just a theory, but I don't really know. Let's see. Taylor Sharp, smiley face with the cowboy hat. Yeah. Jimmy, I bought some a few years ago, but I haven't gotten around to using any of it. Well, it should still be the same consistency. They do claim it doesn't change over time in the container. They just, if it's covered so dust doesn't get in it. I think that was one of the things mentioned on CSGR website. And Taylor says, so Alienware uses some stuff called Element 31. From the pics, seeing the description, it sounds identical. Yeah, they use the same lingo with like ceramic capsule stuff, and that is intriguing, and we're gonna have to test it out. Okay, so we got this clean, and we're going to just get a little closer here. And he says, why mess with something as risky as Conductonaut if you'll have to replace it every year or two? Yeah, that's exactly how I feel about it as well. And my only interest in Conductonaut at this point is just for testing purposes, and because right, like if we're going to be testing the LMTG 100 and it's claiming to have very high and, you know, potentially similar performance to Conductonaut, that is a bold claim. So we need to actually compare it side by side with it. I mean, I'll have some other pastes, obviously. We're going to test all sorts of stuff on this rig, but I can't just compare LMTG to like MX4. Like my assumption is it would beat it, but I guess we'll find out what happens. It'll be interesting, that's for sure, to see what happens. Taylor Sharp says, yeah, I think I'm most excited for the K5 test. Yeah, you know, me too. I think there's been a build-up and I have been wanting to get to it. And at the same time, I felt compelled to test a lot of these putties and things I've been buying that I hadn't gotten around to yet. So I think that's what I started with, just like, okay, let's test everything else and then we'll get to K5. Because that's the one I'm most, I don't know, maybe anxious would be the wrong word. I don't think it's going to, like, I don't actually think it'll, like, hurt the electronics or anything like that. I'll be monitoring temperatures. And I'll keep a closer eye on it than other ones, I suppose, just at least for the first few minutes of testing, just to see where the temperature goes. Because I've never tested on a card. The other putties I've tested on the card before, I set up the test, I walk away, because I've already know it's going to perform where similar to previous tests. So he says, looking forward to the future tests. Hopefully I don't need to trash it. Yeah, I think K5 Pro has a use case or two. They are supposed to be good for low power applications. It does have a very low viscosity. It's almost like a paste. And if we were talking shims, it'd be interesting to see how it does with copper shims. That would be a fair test to do with it. Even the manufacturer kind of bounces around with the gap, but they either say like 3 millimeters max or 2 millimeters max, and like anything over that, or if you want more performance, use a shim with K5 Pro on either side. So it'll be worth trying. Jimmy, I would say save yourself the yeah, like if I was like gonna recommend something to someone today to go and like putty a card, I would say look at the chart, look at the top 5. How many cards are you doing? If just one, consider that, and then like look at where your options are for where you can buy it in your country, what the shipping is, and whatever's cheapest in those top 4 or 5. I'd say like that's probably the one to get. Yeah, that CX H13 is a good putty. For sure. Alright. I think we are looking pretty clean there. So, well, you know what? Just gonna do one more. Yeah, that's clean. All right. Let's put the camera up here a little bit. Some more room. So, yeah, K5 Pro is currently the most controversial putty from an end user perspective, I think. Well, but also so are the, like, from maybe not you guys, but from anyone on different forums that maybe hasn't watched too much of my stuff at all, or any of it, from their perspective, if they've heard of it, and if they've read some of the stuff online, I think they would be uneasy with the Upsiren stuff, not knowing what to make of the disagreement between the two entities. So, just, yeah, it's unfortunate that we are where we are, but this is where we're at, so yeah. I'm just going to reshape TGPP10 and then we're going to go for application. So when I go do the conformal coating again, I'll be taking the TGP10 that's on this card off and storing in a container, getting rid of the little bits that are contaminated, and then when we go to reapply it, I'll be using the exact same putty, and I'll just mix in a little bit of extra old putty as well of similar age from my my container I use, and then I'll just kind of like knead it into a nice consistent putty, and then I'll just roll it out in little logs and place it across. And I'll probably just do like a dry fit with that, make sure it crunch or squishes down how I want it to, and then we will excuse me, and then we'll go for, well, I'll realistically be using thermal pads to test the pastes out. I'll just use one set of thermal pads and just keep using that same set. So all right, I think we are clean enough here. Go might as well do close up for this too, why not? It wasn't perfectly clean. Guess we keep cleaning off MX4 and applying MX4, so it's not like huge, but yeah. Andy asks, did any of the other putties leave more residue on the centers of the chips? You know what? I'll have to go back and look, but the one putty that was really hard to clean up was that, was it boron nitride from Slice Engineering? That stuff was, I don't know, that was pretty nasty stuff that we had to use there. I don't think I'll ever use that stuff again. Like anywhere. I can't see a use case for that. And I'm sure there is one. It's probably, I think they've got it marketed for 3D printers. There's like a heater core or something. Not a heater core. There's like a heater element for the print head, I think. Cartridge. And it's supposed to be used along with one of those. So maybe they do require it to bake into a solid form like that to work. But we actually used less watts than what it was designed for. So in my mind, I think it actually does bake solid like that, which didn't give us great results, unfortunately. Jimmy, currently I'm going with layered 607 for putty. Yeah, that layered stuff, you know, nice color blue. It's play like, it's easy to form. It's a good putty for sure. And, you know, for anyone concerned about like technical documents, it's got all of that, which is a big plus. And he says, if this is the one and only that was left, that pattern, I think it's a bad sign for its durability. That's a good point. I should probably go back and look at some of the teardown footage and just see if I can find that pattern anywhere else. Taylor Sharp, yeah, the trademarks, canvas, something else, yeah. Super high temp stuff. Andy snarks, the cork paste spread isn't as perfect as always. Oh, should I do it? Should I do it more? More spread? You know what? We can respread. Or did you mean to say is or isn't? I don't know. Let's respread it. It's okay. Let's put a I made it better or worse. I think it's okay. It'll squish out. Yeah, it's gonna squish out. Hey, you're not spoiling anything. You're part of the team. Don't cut yourself short. This is a group effort now. Well, at least, I don't know. I don't feel so alone in the testing or anything. You guys are making it easier. Yeah. And here we go. So we got a marker here. MG860. It's probably a good thing I don't have many putties left to test because I don't have many of these syringes. Crap, I'm gonna have to buy more. That's funny. Alright, so stuff's really soft. So I'm gonna try and be careful not to use way too much or anything. Crap. Wow. Yeah, I don't know how hopeful I am of this stuff actually, now that I think about it. That means I can't go to bed right away. I'll have to... That's okay. I'll stay up for like half hour longer. I didn't weigh it before and after, but that's okay. It's going to be about the same volume that I always use. And this stuff is lighter. It's got a lower density. If this stuff, I don't know, this could be a good base to try making one's own putty. It's so liquidy that you could definitely add stuff to this, make it less sticky and messy, increase the viscosity and the thermal performance. So, be interesting to see. But we got reshaped. There, yeah. We are good to go. Layered is good stuff for sure, yeah. Andy, I'm 95% sure that it wouldn't matter in the end since it'll just squish out, but you know, consistency does matter, yeah. I'd agree with that. I'm gonna try to be as consistent as I can. So anytime you guys see that, definitely point it out. I definitely appreciate it. Especially when I'm this tired. Alright. Yeah, I think it'll stick on there. It's already... Can you guys see that? It's already flattening itself out a little bit, hey? Just from gravity's doing its thing. Just kind of like sitting down there, partially flattened from gravity. Good stuff. Yeah, that 45-degree angle trick works way better than what I was doing before when struggling with it. Yeah, it does look like icing. But like really liquidy icing. I guess some of the icing does look like that. That like gel stuff. I mean, this stuff could be a pretty good option for shims, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll see what its performance is like, and we'll go from there. But like we were discussing before, on one of the previous streams, where we're going to boost 2 putties, this 860, as long as it doesn't like bake and do anything crazy during the testing, maybe it's a viable option for the low end one. And then I'm going to let you guys vote on the top one to boost, and we'll try that. A little bit of diamond powder. Ever given it a taste? No. No, I'm not even tempted to. You know what? Let's I just gotta see what this stuff smells like. It's got a slightly... it's not a strong scent, but it is more noticeable than the other silicone-based putties, which in my mind, I don't know, maybe that's just because it's more liquidy. I'm not entirely sure. Then again, K5 Pro does have a fairly chemical smell to it. I can't quite place what it is. If it's a... I don't think it's a solvent. That wouldn't make sense to have a putty base made out of a solvent. But it has a chemical smell. I'm sure you guys that have K5 Pro that used it before have probably noticed that. I wish I could remember if it had a smell when we heated it up on the hot plate, but it was so long ago that I cannot remember at all. I'll have to look at that video and see if I probably didn't mention it in the video either. Man, I really appreciate the quality of these screws. None of them have stripped yet. And I've taken this card apart, I don't know, probably 30 or so times. So, still going strong. Okay, let's see if we can get a close up there. Squishy, squishy. And yeah, my grill is, man. I'm gonna have to, when I clean the card up, I'll have to really do a thorough clean of the grill radiator. The grill. Sorry, when I get tired, my sense of humor is a little bit different. So, do you guys want to go through the Jeyi results? We can like work on the data for 5 minutes if you guys would like. Won't take us long. We'll do it live. I'm just gonna do it, and then if you guys want to stick around, you can. If not, no worries. I'm just cleaning up my desk a little bit. Gotta make room for the keyboard. Gonna scrub this whole thing down a bit later, but now just gonna still on the side thing. Oops. Okay. Jimmy says, I feel like smelly putties dry out quicker. Those VOCs, yeah. So exactly. If there's volatile organic compounds, to me that means they are evaporating and they are coming from somewhere. And I wonder what happens when you heat it up. Does it like, you know, does it boil? Is there other stuff going on? We're gonna find that out, guys. We definitely are. We're gonna do some hot plate tests, just where we just heat stuff up. We're gonna do like, I don't know, maybe even like an oven bake. Jimmy's saying, just wondering that about 5 minutes ago. Figured they were changing them frequently, but they're very durable. Yeah, same keyboard for the longest time. This keyboard's been good, but it's got like a broken tab. Usually I have this like lifted at the one point, and this one's broken. I just got tired of having to like put it in there, and anytime I shift it, it falls. But let's go to this Firefox screen. Okay, and I just switched to the correct mic here. Firefox. Wait, I don't actually want to do Firefox. Sorry. Let me go back to overview, and we're going to do this right here. So, I guess I'll get the music going as well. Might as well. Okay. Oh, you know what? I have to... Crap. No, I can open it up. It's okay. It's gonna work. Test bench 2. Just gonna go to TGPP10, which is where I grabbed the calculator from the Speedway. Okay. That's supposed to open up in a second here. Awesome. So first, we're gonna do the ETH hash one, and we're going to go to JH again. Chipset, perfect. I don't need to change anything. Let's try Furmark. See if it has that pesky PCH. No, chipset. Good to go. Kapow. JH, there we go. So this one would have messed up, so we'll delete this. And now we're going to create a copy. Oh, this one ran for a while, so it took a little bit to copy there. All right, so we're just going to quickly save those in that form. Oh, wow. Yeah, I just doubled its size, so it's going to be big. You have a gem scale to measure before and after for the oven bake tests. I have a reloading scale, which I would consider accurate enough to do that measurement. Because when I'm loading for handgun, I use 7 grains of long shot. So, and there's 7,000 grains in a pound. Yeah, I can definitely measure before and after for that. That's a very good idea. That should tell us if VOCs are lowering the weight, I would think. Okay, maybe I'll just save these afterwards. Let me just wait till that one's done. Okay, let's get some calculators going here. So one there. There we go. Oh well, that's okay. Let's do ETH hash first. I'm trying to figure out, like, I think, sorry, I haven't been reading here, but yeah, reloading scale should be, it's like RCBS. I can't remember which model. The only thing with it is you have to like turn it on and leave it on for like a couple hours, and that improves the accuracy. Some people were saying that, like, if you just turn the RCBS scale on and then use it right away, it has issues, but yeah, it worked really well for giving me good groups in my 308. Oh, you know what? I gotta go Control A, Control F, replace, paste that in there. Okay, there's that one. That was ETH hash, I think. Yeah. Now we'll go firmark next. We're gonna close that. Okay, I'm just gonna open up the performance chart here. And we go MG. Where did I buy this stuff from? I think it was Mauser. All right, let's go Kapow. Sorry, this might be annoying to like watch, but I don't know. It's yeah, the screen flashing back and forth. You guys are probably just trying to like go to sleep or enjoy your evenings, but hey, we're doing it. Firmark. And I can't really read anything right now because I didn't, I'll read something in a second here. So I generally, out of these tests, like it's good that I'm doing a firmark and a Kapow, even though it's not like an accurate Kapow test. Did I mess that up? Firmark. Sorry, I'm just gonna double check. In the top, I'm just making sure I got the right. That's what happens. I start talking and then it's like hard to focus. 285, yeah. Can you guys tell I use Excel for work? Yeah, I use it a lot. Okay, let's go. So do Kapow first. We're gonna right click here, paste values. And then we'll go firmark. And ETH hash, or ETC hash, I should say. I guess I could mine an ETH hash coin if I wanted to now. Let me get back to the chat here. I probably missed out on a bunch. Say tech bros. Andy says be right back. Don't worry, Andy, we'll wait for you, buddy. Jimmy, I also had the Saytech Cyborg keyboard for my main gaming rig. Only trashed it about after a year ago. Well, lasted a while. Thanks, man. Alright, so it's 54.5. 54.5. So it's matching what? No, sorry, that's not, I messed that up. I can't believe that. That's silly. Sorry guys. Wow, that was stupid. I'll double check the store. I was calling it MG Chemicals 860, but we just put that on the card, so that's not the results. Yeah, I need to go to sleep after this, after I watch the card for a little bit. I was about to say, I was looking at the performance, and I'm like, there's no way that the MG860 matches the Zezio. Let me just drink something here for a sec. So I'll have to figure out which store I bought it from. Let's go back to my order. It was like a random store too. Well, I bought it from 2 or 3 different stores. I guess I could try, because I did do a couple different orders. Oh, definitely one was Passionate Girl store. That was definitely one of the orders. Yeah. Okay, let's go back. 54.5 on the VRAM T Delta. So it's matching that performance, but has just a slightly higher hotspot T Delta, and the watts are all the same. Yeah, I'm gonna put it underneath the Zezio, I think. Yeah, let's do that. Like, I mean, I kind of consider them tied in a way, but with the core T Delta, I mean, does that mean I need to retest it? Maybe, I don't know. The retests are going to have to wait a little while. I need to, I want to get to that liquid metal stuff. And I can't do that if I keep retesting everything, so. Let's see. Andy, I have no Excel skills and I'm supposed to be doing a PhD. You know what? I didn't used to be able to use Excel like I currently do. And I just, interesting. It's like, definitely getting hotspot stuff. All of these are 39s. This is the only 40 for Furmark. The ambient wasn't even, I don't know. Let's place it though, 51.4. We're gonna put it between TH855 and TG6060. And Kapow 64.2. So between 6060 and A7000. $64.2. Yeah, that's where it's gonna go. And he says retests matter much less than the product tests. Than one. At least in this case, since you obviously could have messed them up. Obviously. Couldn't have messed them up all that bad. Yeah. I think my gut says not many people are going to be buying the too many of the bottom half of putties, and I think we will retest the top ones. I expect the results to be fairly similar, to be honest. I get it. You know, we look at the top here on Kapow. The UX Pro is edging out by not quite a degree, but then we go to Furmark. Oh, shoot! This is not good. We're just gonna. Whew. Okay, let me save it. Wow. If I go to Furmark, we go to the top, then it's CXH 1300 on top by 0.2 of a degree. And then we go back to ETHash, and it's, yeah, UX Pro again by 0.4 of a degree Celsius. So, like, it almost, I mean, does it even matter? People are going to look at those and go, well, they're both good. Even the, well, the top, well, that's EVGA, sorry. But the top three, even four, they're going to look at price only, I think. They're going to say, well, how much do I need for a card? And they're going to ask, and I'll say, oh, you know, that card might need 30 or 40 grams. Or if you do the whole backplate, you're going to need a bit more, 50 grams. And then they're going to go buy a 50-gram container for the cheapest sale price plus shipping / maybe even how fast it can get to their house. There's some people that are only willing to buy stuff off Amazon because they want that 2-day shipping, but there's not too many putties that can ship in 2 days. There's a couple, but I don't know. We'll see how they perform. You know what, guys? I think that's it for tonight. Just gotta make sure I save these. I'll put this card on the test bench, and if I see smoke, I will make sure I turn it off right away. Jimmy says, for learning Excel, I'd recommend setting a goal regarding data manipulation and correlation, and just keep Googling every time. Yeah, exactly. Every time you hit a roadblock, easiest way to learn. I Google everything that I don't know how to do. Especially like when I was looking up, not the average ones, but there's, I'm trying to think. I made a chart recently, but yeah, like if statements and stuff. Taylor Sharp, LOL. Thanks, brother. Get some sleep. Yeah, man. Listen, you guys have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. This was a impromptu stream, as always, and you guys always make it a bit more fun than when I'm just sitting here talking to myself. So, but no pressure either way. It's all good. You guys have a great night, and I will catch you guys in probably 2-3 days. I've got to go do a job, so I will be back testing when I can. It sucks that Google search has gotten so bad. Yeah, it's definitely not what it once was, that's for sure. Cool. Well, you guys have a great night, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Snark's Domain out. Oh yeah.